Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Body by Natalie. I'm here today to talk about my week 2 cut results. So if y'all have been following me so far for this whole cut process, you know that I'm at the end of my week 2, and today actually starts my week 3, which is my diet break week. And I've been looking forward to this week like since I started this cut like 2 weeks ago, for real. Like, I am so freaking excited about all the carbs, all the food. My calories are gonna go up by like 800, and I'm so excited to crush the gym this week, hit my macros, and see where I'm at the end of the week. Before I go through my data from last week, I want to talk to you guys about how I stopped my binges from this past weekend. So this past weekend was the first time in, I want to say almost a month, probably a month, that I haven't binged, and I'm so fucking excited about that. This is a total win for me. No matter what my weigh-in was, no matter how much weight I lost last week, whatever, just not binging this past weekend and feeling so in control, even with cutting my calories, I mean, I surprised myself. Like, I can totally do this. Friday night, I went out and got a pizza, and I allowed 3 slices of that pizza in my macros for the whole day. And I had a glass of wine, which also fit my macros. And normally, I would have those 3 pieces of pizza and then either get dessert or, you know, talk myself into eating the whole pizza instead of just those 3 slices. Or if we go home, I would eat the rest of it at home or whatever. No, on Friday, I had those 3 slices of pizza and that's it. And on Saturday, I went out again for dinner and I made it fit my macros, no problem. And Sunday, yesterday, I went out for lunch. So I went out all weekend for at least 1 meal and I made it fit my macros. I didn't binge. When you're eating something or when you're on the couch, when you're watching TV, and that urge to binge and eat all the food in your kitchen comes up, stop for a second and think. I'm just having a thought right now. Like, this is temporary. It's temporary that I'm feeling this way. I want to binge. I want to eat everything. I know there's cookies and ice cream and pizza in my fridge right now, but how I'm feeling right now is not how I'm going to feel like 10 minutes from now or an hour from now or tomorrow. Definitely not tomorrow. And the worst times for me is at night when I'm sitting down doing nothing, my work's done for the day, I'm watching TV, and I feel like binging at night, which is also a reason why I save most of my calories for later in the day. This week, I'm gonna go back to my normal like 600-700 calorie dessert, which I eat at like 11 o'clock at night, which is another trick I use to stop my binges. But when you feel that urge to binge, like I said, just think to yourself, this is only a thought. I don't need to act on this. If I think about jumping off my balcony right now, am I gonna do it? Probably not. So just think to yourself, I'm just having a thought. I'm thinking about binging. I'm not actually binging, I'm thinking about it. Let the thought pass, weigh out your pros and cons. If I binge right now, how will I feel 10 minutes from now? How will I feel tomorrow morning? And guys, I can't tell you how many times I've woken up from a binge the next morning and I felt angry, sad, defeated, bloated, pissed off. Like, I do not want to feel those things, and I'm sure you guys can relate. If you can relate to this, hit that like button, show some support, but those feelings are not fun at all. And that's what I just kept telling myself. If I binge right now, if I eat this ice cream that's in my freezer, yeah, it'll feel good while I'm eating it for those 5 seconds, but tomorrow morning, I'm gonna hate myself. And I'm gonna backtrack and lose all of the progress, just like what I was talking about last week in last week's episode. If you hit your calories and are on point all week and then mess up on the weekend, Monday, you can start back square one. You're gonna use the next few days to make up for the binge you had the past weekend. Do you want that? Do you wanna waste those 3 days that you could be making progress? Instead, you're just catching up from what you did on the weekend? No, you don't want to be there. Another thing that helped me with these binges this past weekend is knowing that this week I have a diet break. I'm just super excited to eat all this food, and that's kind of how I distracted myself this past weekend from binging. Because if you're dieting, if this is like even your second or third week dieting and you've been in a calorie restriction and you're not eating the foods you like, or you're trying to cut out certain foods, you have a higher chance of binging. And because I was looking forward to this scheduled, planned diet break, it really helped me focus on this week and kind of ignore and push off the foods this past weekend, because I know I can eat them this week, if that makes sense. Including diet breaks, including high carb days or refeeds in your diet or in your cut can seriously help push past those binges and stay on track. That is how I kind of beat my binges this past weekend, and I'm super excited about it. I just wanted to share those tips with y'all, so if you can apply them to yourself, if they help you at all, please let me know. Now, I kind of want to talk you through the data from last week and kind of explain my numbers a little bit, so here we go. Here is last week's data, this chart right here. This was Monday. If y'all remember my episode from last week, I kind of explained that I binged this Saturday and Sunday. So this past Monday, obviously my weight was a little high, and I got back to what I was when I started this cut, week 1. So I binged the first weekend of my cut, not good. Weight was up because I binged that weekend. It started to slowly go down. I decreased my macros a little bit these next couple of days because I did binge on the weekend. So my calories were a little bit low. I did a little extra cardio to make up for it. And then on Wednesday, I was back to where I was before the binge. So I only had to make up for that binge for 2 days. And then on Wednesday, everything was pretty much back to normal. I hit my protein goals, I hit my carb goals, and my fat goals. The only difference is on Friday right here, you can see I did have that glass of wine with dinner. So because I had the alcohol, I took out some of my calories from my carbs and my fats. My protein was low, which is not good. If you ever have alcohol or if you ever need to make room in your calories, do not cut from your protein. So that was my mistake. Normally you want to hit your protein goal and then subtract carbs and fats, but that day was just like a fluke, I don't know. And then Saturday was okay, and Sunday was okay. And now, because I did not binge this last weekend, I'm still losing weight. See, binge, no binge. So another reason or another strategy as to how I beat my binges this past weekend, because I did not want to get back up to 172. So now for this week, this is week 3. My goals are a little bit different. So these are my new calories and my new goals for the week. So you can see up here, my deficit calories are around 1580. My diet break calories are almost 2400. My protein dropped a little bit. My carbs are almost at 300. And my fats are almost at 90. So see the difference? See how much higher these are? And my cardio is going to stay the same. I'm not going to do any extra cardio, and I'm going to weigh myself every single day and see where I'm at. What I did want to explain to you last week, you see how my weight kind of went up? So it went from 169, 167.2, 0.6, 0.8. It went up these 3 days. And if you see your weight going up, don't let that stress you out. I'm going to explain to you in a second a few reasons why your weight can go up. And then it dropped and everything was fine. So I'm going to explain why your weight can go up, and I'm going to explain how I calculated my calories for this diet break this week. A few reasons as to why your weight can increase on a calorie deficit is you trained hard. If you do a really hard training session, your body holds on to water because it causes your body stress. So your body holds on to that water, and then the next day you could be a little bit heavier. That's one reason. Another reason is you haven't slept. So when you sleep, it regulates those stress hormones. And if you don't get enough sleep, then your body and those hormones causes your body to hold on to, again, water. So that's another reason. Third reason is you gotta shit. Poop has a weight to it, so if you haven't pooped, then that's another reason. Maybe you ate a little more sodium than you're used to the day before, so if you had more salty foods, and your sodium was a little bit high, then the next day your weight can be up because again, it holds on to water. Another reason is if you ate late at night. So say you usually have your last meal by 10 o'clock at night. Then one night you eat, let's say you have your last meal at midnight. The next day, you're gonna be probably a little bit higher in weight just because you ate later in the day or later at night than you're used to. As you saw, even though my weight increased for 3 days in a row, the next day, the fourth day, it dropped back down. So that's why I take my weight every single day and I take my weekly averages. So over last week, I lost a little over a pound. Even though my weight went up those 3 days, my weekly average was down over a pound. Don't weigh yourself once a week and then base your progress off of that one weigh-in, because that could be a morning where your weight's a little bit high because of the reasons I just mentioned, and it's not actually your true weight. So I would recommend weighing yourself at least 3 times, 4 times a week. Every single day is better. Take those averages, weekly average, and then see how you're at, compare this week to last week, and then make changes. Now for my diet break macros, what I did was, if you go back to my very first episode, I explained to you how I calculate my maintenance calories. And for this week, I recalculated my maintenance calories. It's super important to recalculate your calories because as you're losing weight, you're losing fat mass, you're losing lean body mass. Because you're losing some of those metabolically active tissues, your BMR is going to go down. Your body isn't gonna burn as many calories. So if you're on your 3rd week and you're going into a diet break and you use your maintenance calories from the very first week, it's gonna be wrong. It's gonna be a little bit too high. So that's why you need to recalculate, because as you lose weight, your maintenance calories are gonna change. They're gonna go down. Week 1, I calculated my maintenance calories at 2,400, a little over 2,400. This week, using my new weight, because I lost weight this past week, my new maintenance calories, and instead of a little over 2,400, they're now at 2,390. And then I take my protein and my fats and my carbs using those calories. If you ever have any questions on how to do any of this, or if you have any questions for me, any comments, please comment below, send me a DM, and I will try my best to get back to you. Also down below are my coaching links. The application for my Fat Loss Accelerator program is down there. I have 2 more spots. So if you want your macros calculated the right way and make progress the right way according to science, which is the best way, then go down there, apply for this program. I calculate your macros the exact same way based on your body fat percentage, your schedule, and I incorporate refeeds, diet breaks like this so you're not driving yourself crazy trying to eat in a deficit for like 10 weeks straight. So go down below, apply for that program. I'm so excited to see what this week brings. So I'm going to stay on track as much as I can. I'll be posting my meals this week on my Instagram story at Body by Natalie. So make sure to check back there for my higher carb meals. And I'll catch you next week in next week's episode, which will be on Monday. So I hope you guys have a great week and I'll talk to you later. Bye.